So I know a lot of these passport bros, and especially black men, are in my comments asking me why I'm talking about this. It's not my fight. And before anything, I'm a woman, so I'm always going to stand up for women regardless of race. And one thing that really bothers me about this is these same passport bros are the men who probably tried to hit on me in the US before they realized that we don't like them either. I'm from a town that really doesn't have that many Asian women, especially Asian women who look like me. Like I said, you guys, I'm adopted. I grew up in a white family in the Midwest, so I have no beauty standards from South Korea. I'm a thick woman. I weigh about 165 pounds. I'm 5'5", so honestly, the brothers like to holler, and they still do. Regardless of what some men in the comments are trying to say, that black men aren't checking for Asian women. Yeah, right. Check my DMs. But anyway, pretty much every time I met a black man, he thought it would be a flex to say something like, yeah, I like my women foreign, I like my women exotic. And I don't know why they decided to say that to me, if they thought it would make me feel good or something, but for me it's always a red flag. And so I would dig in a little bit further and say, well, what do you mean by that? Like, because I'm a white girl on the inside. My family is white. I grew up in a white community in a small town in the Midwest, so I might look exotic, but I'm Wonder Bread white on the inside. So anyway, whenever these guys would say this, I'd be like, well, you're about to be in for a big disappointment if you're expecting a submissive, docile Asian to take care of you. But it really bothered me when these guys would say, yeah, I don't like black women, because that's what it always came down to, that they didn't date black women, regardless if they were black or not. And their moms are black, their sisters are black, their cousins are black. I'm like, would you say this to their face? That's weird. So I kind of pick and prod after I already decided, yeah, I'm done with this, I'm out, because anybody who says something like that just is an immediate red flag. But it always came down to the same stupid stereotypes that black men always have to say about women. They're loud, they're masculine, they don't know how to treat a man, they wear fake hair. So what? So what? You don't have to put down an entire race of women because you have a preference. And honestly, like, I've dated pretty much every race, every ethnicity. I'm Ms. Worldwide when it comes to dating. Only common denominator is black hair and dark eyes usually. But I've never heard any group of people, group of men, put down their own women more than I've heard black men do it in pursuit of other women. And I just find it really disheartening. And I understand why this divide is getting bigger, but I don't want to be a part of it. So I hate it, and I had to speak on it.
So this video was actually sent to me by one of my subscribers, and when I saw this video, I had a lot of different feelings, a lot of different thoughts. We're going to break them all down. Okay, we're going to break them all down. But most importantly, the first thing that stuck out to me is, she did say that she was raised in the Midwest, by white people who adopted her, so she's basically like a white girl. And I just found it kind of interesting that, she sees the divide between black women and black men and decides to also add her take on, what it is that black men do and this and that. And she's only solely basing this information off of the couple of black men that she's dated. This is not some kind of, I don't even know how to, when they do those things like a survey, like this isn't a survey. This isn't like her testing out from, black men from different walks of life, from different areas of the country. Like, she said that she's from a small town, and she's speaking of the same men in her small town, the true and few that she dated that were black. And you know what she's doing in this conversation? She's putting down black men to other men. I know people are going to be like, oh, well, where do you get that from? Because she's making it her claim to say, of all the men that I've dated, black men are the only men that I see putting down their own. White men don't do it, Asian men, Hispanic women. Why do black men do this? Something is wrong with them. And black women are in the comments like, yes, sis, don't be quiet. Let them know, because they won't hear it from us, but they'll take it from you, blah, 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 like foolishness. How is this supposed to be helping the divide that you said that you don't like? What are you doing to help that? The only thing that you're doing is what the same feminists do. They get a common enemy and say, well, we're women, we should stick together, and I support you and I support us. Let me be real with you guys, right? I'm going to be really real in this conversation. I'm going to be extremely real. You know, as a black woman, which this woman is not, as a black woman, one thing that we have to understand is that we have to be accountable for how we are perceived. And we also have to be accountable of the way that we portray ourselves and the way that we move with each other. I got to keep it 100 with you guys. In particular, without saying anybody's name, you know, I had a family member. Well, he's still my family member, but I had conflict with one of my family members because he was one of the people who would always say that he didn't like dating black women because of this, because of that, because of this. And, you know, it became an issue with me. I'm like, what's your problem? What is it? What is the issue? And when I really got to the root of the problem, it's that based off of his experience, the combativeness that he received from the couple of women that he dated made him have a certain perception. How can you beat up somebody for their perception of their experience? Right? Also, we have to take this into account. She said, I've never seen that with any other race of men. Yeah, because have you ever seen any other race of men go through what black men and black women have gone through in this country? I'm waiting. Have you ever seen the literal deconstruction of the black family unit? Have you seen that with any other race? I'm waiting. We've all been fed this narrative that, you know, white is right and lighter is better. And that indoctrination still affects people today. It still does. If you go even out of the country, you know, women who have a lighter, you know, skin pigment or whatever are treated a different way and, you know, looked at a certain way. They have more opportunities. Let's be real. We know that it's a deep-rooted issue. But the real truth is, the black men that you dated, maybe the few that you've dated, maybe they have their own issues going on. But you're speaking on the majority of black men and passport bros, which you cannot do. Unless you've dated them all. Which, that would lead to a different conversation. Because black men who love black women are not checking for you. That's why you wouldn't know their experience. That's why you wouldn't know how they feel. That's why you wouldn't understand even the black men who love black women who are still going overseas to go get black women from other countries or be in relationships with black women from other countries. You won't understand. Because they wouldn't tell you. Because you're not their preference. Because they don't like you. They're not interested in you. They're interested in their own. But the women that they're interested in don't want to get on the same page with them. I hate to say it, but, you know, as a woman who was adopted by a white family and who is also Asian, you know, I'm not going to say that you don't have your own issues or your own problems or your own stereotypes. Of course you do. But you see, black people here in America, it's a whole different kettle of fish because black people weren't even seen as human beings once upon a time. Right? So again, that stain is still on us. So when you see this erratic behavior, it's women like you who are encouraging women to still be outside of their nature instead of you standing to the sideline and letting us figure this out. You know why? Because this is the same way how feminists began. This is the same thing. It's the same exact thing. She said, oh, you know, they're masculine. Who cares? The men care. Of course you don't care because you're a woman. You're not dating them. You're not experiencing them. You're not protecting them. You don't understand how difficult it would be for a man to protect a woman who doesn't listen, who doesn't want to listen to what he says, who doesn't want to follow directions, simple directions, or follow his direction, follow his lead. You can't comprehend that. It's hard enough that we out here, you know, just trying to be seen and trying to be this and trying to be that and trying to be included in things and trying to, you know, break barriers. But why is it that as soon as our women started breaking barriers, they started to look at the men and say, I don't need you. I don't want you. You're a plus. I can do things without you. I can do bad all by myself. A lot of white women not saying that. The people who raised you, they're not saying that. You have one true and few, right, who say that from other different spectrums. But our women, because of our strength and our power, a lot of people try to infiltrate that and then use it to weaponize it against black men. What you're doing right now. This is exactly what you're doing. It don't matter what you say. Oh, the brothers want me. Yeah, they want me. They be in my DM. And, you also try to, slide in your weight and your size and all that kind of stuff in there. And then talk about, yeah, like, I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't want them. I reject these men here and blah, 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 blah. So we all have the common enemy of the black man. Maybe you do. But don't get it twisted, honey. Don't get it twisted. No matter what you say to yourself and what y'all saying in the comment section, stop acting like black men are not at the top of the totem pole with it. When it comes to swag, we're the blueprints. I'm just being honest. We're the blueprints. So for the people who are saying that it's not your conversation, I agree with them. I completely agree. I think that you should talk from a space of what you've experienced and stop trying to talk about all. Because it's very detrimental. It's not helping. It's not assisting at all. We have our own stuff. And as black women, we do got to get stuff together. We do. It's not just the men saying it. Because the women are also going to be under your comment section and supporting you. But when we talk about correction within our own community, they're combative to us as well. We do have to get it together. We do have to stop being made a mockery of and being in support of that. Stop the foolishness. Get back to our family units, our family structures, our houses, our homes, building, community building. We do. So thank you, but no thank you. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you.